Okay, so why do we have to address you as FJW, FPW? FJW. Is that like a Gen Z TikTok thing?
It's an acronym.
I already smoked you on that on Patreon, but go ahead.
That hasn't come out yet, so shh. But yeah. Maul, tell him, FJW, you don't know what that is?
I don't know. I know the RFK files were just released. I know the MLK files.
What was it, like 5 million pages or something?
Yeah, I don't know who FJW is. Who was FJW, and are we getting a holiday for FJW?
Nah, y'all ain't
Sounds
sexy.
like
Y'all ain't hear that
law
Sexy
firm.
Red and that Bruno Mars?
That shit is terrible.
We're going to get to that.
That shit is... No, we not. Can we get to it right now? That song is trash.
Oh, out the gate, we want to get to it?
That song is fucking terrible.
It's worse than LaMelo song is what you saying. Leangelo, not LaMelo. I'm
For
sorry.
sure.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
And I kind of want my flowers.
That shit is trash, man. Hey, Bruno's a... No, I ain't gonna say that.
A culture vulture.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie,
How is
man.
Bruno a culture vulture when Bruno did the same thing on this song that he does on all other songs?
Yeah, he's been a culture vulture for years.
Vulturing the culture.
We was just talking about him last week, and I said, I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint what it is.
So
why
y'all
I
sat
don't.
up here and argued with me for fucking 2 hours off mic that
Yeah.
Eminem wasn't a culture vulture, but Bruno's the one doing it for you.
Yeah. And I mean, you were out last episode. We were going to have that debate on camera, but I feel like you want to back out a little bit now because my point was proven as of last Friday.
Your point was not, how was your point proven?
Because it sounded like 10 white execs walked into a boardroom and said, hey, the folks are really into that West Coast sound now. Get them, Bruno.
But it's not even a Bruno song. It's a Sexy Red song. Bruno doesn't even have a verse on it. You just want to hate Bruno, my bad. Bruno doesn't have a verse on it.
Listen, man. Bridge, hook, verse, whatever you want to call it.
He literally just
did
did
not
bridge,
get,
hook, verse.
He did not get some pussy so good he almost threw up a set.
Nah, I ain't gonna
There's
lie.
no that's
I kind of felt him on that.
No, see, all right.
I definitely was some 6-0 when I got it. So I was definitely rolling.
I definitely
6.
went through an era when I was fucking with Crip bitches, but I wasn't throwing it up outside of like dangerous purposes. I would be she threw it up because she was fucking with a Crip. I can't throw up Crip now too because you fucking a Crip.
Yeah.
Just because I'm Eskimo Brothers, I'm in the set now.
Absolutely. Get into it.
You don't think it's disrespectful that they took Nipsey last time that I checked and changed it to Fat, Juicy, and Wet? That's not culture vulture to you?
That's crazy.
That sounds like AI spit out
That's crazy.
2025, not like us West Coast feel with a cruise ship singer.
Okay, well, first of all, I am not a fan of the song. I like the song because I like Bruno, but once the verses come on and Sexy Red starts, I'm over the overly sexualized shit. Like I've told y'all that on this podcast before. I'm over the overly sexual shit.
It's
too
funny
much
because
for
I
me.
heard a lot of women say that this weekend.
I'm over it. It's
Like they
too
kind of
much.
like, it's like, all right, we get it, but it's just like,
It's too much.
All right. Every episode, we're just going down my list of 2025 predictions. I said pussy rap was on its last legs, and on camera, you guys laughed at me and said it'll never go away.
no, it's not. It's not going away, but
People are starting to feel it is getting over the top when you're bombarded nonstop with that.
well, this
like
this,
any other genre.
this Bruno Mars and Sexy Red record is, I just think it's, when you heard Bruno and Sexy had a song together, I don't think this is what we was
No,
expecting.
this was not what I was expecting.
This kind of like caught us like, oh, this is the route they went. Like,
Well,
we know what to expect from Sexy Red, right?
Okay.
But I thought that maybe, you know, this was gonna be her turning. Like, nah, I don't just do that. I could also do this type of record with Bruno Mars as well. At least that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Same.
And
We got the total. We got SexyRed. She's true. One thing I love about Sex, she show up at Sexy
she
Red.
saved the record in my opinion.
She leave at Sexy Red.
Rory,
She
stop
don't give a
fucking-
fuck.
See, I'm not gonna let you do that shit. I'm not gonna let you do that. Say she saved the record. The whole
I didn't
entire
say that.
record is
I
her.
said
No,
that.
Rory,
Oh,
you
okay.
don't believe that. You just hate Bruno. You don't believe that.
I thought I hated Sexy Red. You guys have to make up your mind.
You hate them
I
both.
like Bruno Mars more than I like Sexy
No,
Red,
you don't.
and it's not even close.
No, you don't.
It's not even a fair
You don't
comparison.
hate- you
Look at
don't
a whole
hate it.
discography versus a few records.
But you don't hate on Sexy the way you hate on Bruno. All you'll say with Sexy is her time's up, whatever. With Bruno, you go hard with your hate for Bruno.
Define going hard for hate.
Okay, just because it's not on
Like, come
camera
on.
don't mean that the
Come on, like,
conversation haven't
don't
happened.
turn it into Twitter community when you
Define
say
going hard for hate.
when you dislike something, all of a sudden like you fucking hate him.
Yeah.
No, I have said that I understand Bruno's success. He's a great pop artist. It's not for me because it feels too polished. Synthetic as shit is just not for me. It doesn't connect. And this may be the furthest Bruno has ever taken it for some real fucking AI. No feeling whatsoever. I'm just gonna repeat what I think the kids will like. That shit was embarrassing. I had secondhand embarrassment.
But you're blaming Bruno for this, but Bruno literally only has the chorus. It's literally a Sexyy Red verse, a Sexyy Red verse, and then a Sexyy Red little after chorus.
So you cool with the hook? You cool with that?
It's not for me, but I'm a dance anyway because I like the beat.
Well,
but like,
if it ain't for you, it ain't for a lot of people because you like that type of shit.
I do like that type of shit.
So if you saying it ain't for you, that means
it's not for a lot of people. However, I don't think that Bruno is what's wrong with the song because Bruno is my favorite part of the song.
I'm not gonna say Bruno was what's wrong with the song. I'm just speaking for me. When I heard Bruno and Sexyy had a song coming, I definitely thought something.
I thought they were gonna lean more in the Bruno Cardi lane. Same. I thought they were gonna lean over there, but they went full Sexyy.
I actually
is a Sexyy Red song.
Went into it on mic, not hating. I thought it was gonna be good. I really thought, I was like, all right, also doesn't shock me. And I mean, I said this off mic more to piss off Demaris, but I will say to you, Bruno does have some one-trick pony rollout stuff, as a lot of other artists do. I'm not just making that a Bruno thing.
Right.
But he did it with Cardi twice, made 2 great records, and I mean, if the wheel isn't broken, go with the hottest ratchet chick and put Bruno.
Bruno's been out for
like
10 years. He got 2.5 ratchet songs, and now suddenly he's a one-trick pony.
Is this his song or Sexyy Red song?
This is Sexyy Red song. It's so obvious.
At this point, with these types of artists, I don't even know whose song WAP is. What is it? Meg? Is it Cardi? Whose is it?
It's Cardi's song. WAP is Cardi's song.
That type of shit to me with primary artists now doesn't really matter like that. Like both their names are right there. It's on both of their Spotify profiles. Like
I'll agree with you.
They kind of purposely make it that way. You don't really know whose record it is.
I agree with you when they're both contributing equally to the song. This song only has a Bruno Mars chorus with 2 Sexyy Red verses and a Sexyy Red bridge. It's a Sexyy Red song.
So you wasn't.
This is not going on Bruno's album.
So you saying
I don't think so. No, I'm with you too. I don't think it will.
But if it's not going on his album, then.
Well, he has 2 records already in top 10 Billboard right now.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, he doesn't need this on his album. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just disappointed in this record. But then again, this is coming from somebody that, like I told you, I recognize the talent that Bruno Mars is. He's talented. He's a great performer. He has smash records, smash songs. Like I'm not speaking against that. Me personally, I just don't play Bruno Mars.
And that's fine.
Like, I don't go to his albums. I don't play his albums. I recognize that he has some big songs right now. Like, one of the songs I really like with Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm. Number one song.
Yeah, like, I recognize that. I
like that song, too.
But I will never play that song.
No.
Like, if I'm out and I hear it.
If it came on, like, on a playlist or something, I'd leave it. I like the song.
Yeah, I would leave it if it came on a playlist or something.
But you're not going to it.
But I'm not going to that song and saying, yo, I need to hear that. Like,
I got moms in the car. I don't know, maybe. That's what Bruno's great when mom's is in the car.
Yeah. That's
why I was actually happy he did the Anderson .Paak thing. I was like, all right, next road trip with my mom, we'll have something we can agree on.
You can't play this Bruno Mars Sexyy Red with moms in the car? You don't think moms will relive the 60s?
It's not that I'd be scared that she would be offended. Yeah. I'd be scared if she was into it. I don't even want to set that chance.
What if you played a Bruno and Sexyy song for your moms and then she lean into like Sexy's ad libs? Like she don't just know the verse. She know the ad libs. Like your
go Kathy, go Kathy.
Yo, Kathy knowing Sexy's ad libs is fucking crazy. You got to rethink your whole life if your mom knows Sexyy.
And like, mom, it's been out 24 hours. How you know?
Yeah,
how you know the libs?
Yeah, like your mom's knowing Sexy's ad libs. It's fucking wild, man.
I don't know, man. This song sounds like a Kids Bop version of a sexually explicit song that kids shouldn't make. Like, that's how cheesy it is to me.
Yeah,
Remember the Kids Bop when they would remix, they'd be like, wow, this is awful. Now, if they did that for adults in sex clubs, like adult bops, that's what this sounds like to me.
I'm not
bad parody.
I'm rooting for Sexyy Red. I just love the fact that she's always who she is and she's not changing for nobody. I just was expecting different.
Why are we rooting for her? Right?
Why not?
And this is as someone who loves pussy rap. I like it. But when you say you're rooting for her, what makes you root for her?
The fact that here's somebody that came from, beginnings that I'm probably familiar with from the inner city, from the hood, and found a way to, make something out of her life, become an artist, actually last longer than I thought she would. I'm not gonna lie, like Sexyy Red she's lasted longer than I thought she would. I thought she caught a viral song and, that would be the end of it, but she's actually turned out to be a pretty successful artist. Maybe even a household name at this point.
Not how, but she's
I
definitely.
mean, if you say
getting up-
Sexyy Red in pretty much any room that we would be in, people gonna know who you talking about.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
So-
when I think household name, I think of the Bruno Mars, the Beyoncés, the people your
She
grandparents
got a song with Bruno.
and mom would know. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if Bruno willing to do a record with her, she's pretty hot. If Bruno feel like, yeah, I'll get on a record with her because he's one of the top artists in the world.
You know what's crazy? I think that Bruno, and I think this record came about, and this is just me guessworking, putting little pieces together from pictures they've taken and stuff. I think Bruno met Sexyy Red, and like everybody else who meets Sexyy Red, fell in love with her.
I believe
and was like, yo, let's work, let's do something. And I'm sure Bruno sent her over a beat, and she did what she did on it, and that's how they came up with that song. Like, I
that's
think
part
it's
of
something
being-
fun to do.
Anderson and Bruno are wild boys. I can totally see Bruno and Sexyy Red having a genuine friendship and getting along.
Yeah.
So yes, I see that and their personalities together. I just think
That's
it
part of being
maps out
talented,
what
though.
Bruno- what do you mean?
That's a personality.
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
Like as an artist, like if you walk in a room and you know an artist that is phenomenal, but their personality is shit. Like I've met, you know, people that have spoken about when they've met their idols. Like, yo, this artist inspired me to become a writer. And then when they meet that artist, it's like, yo, but he was a dickhead. Like, I can't even listen to his music no more. So for somebody like Sexyy Red to be in these rooms or be somewhere with Bruno Mars, and for Bruno to be like, damn, I like Shorty, like I fuck with her. That's part of the talent of an artist. Is do people like you? Do people want to work with you?
Mhm.
Not are you just talented as an artist and in the booth, but as your personality, sitting here kicking it with you. Obviously, I know who you are, but now meeting you, it's like, oh, I fell in love with her. She's amazing. She's an amazing person. Like the energy was dope. Yo, I got a track. Let's see what happens.
but I mean, yes, but I also think a lot of times the way us white people watch The Wire, sometimes we just like what we think is authentic. And I think a lot of people in the industry attach themselves to Sexyy Red because they like to be entertained by the quote unquote ratchet shit. Like similar, like, remember when Taylor Swift and Ice Spice were supposed to be best friends and then Ice Spice didn't pan out, so Taylor doesn't invite her to the games anymore?
Yeah.
Remember that whole thing she penned after that awful record that they put out of like how amazing of a person? I'm not saying that Ice Spice isn't, but she was talking to her like she was the next Nas.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was a completely phony thing, which I think a lot of the pop world does with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They view that shit like they're on Safari just watching, like, oh, I want to be next to that. Just for a song though, and then move the fuck on.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to do that with Sexyy Red.
I do think that it is a real thing where, you know, talking to some of my homegirls, they do feel like the Sexyy Reds, those type of artists are making it difficult for black women though. In the sense of if this is who, because now what Sexyy Red has done with a song with Bruno Mars is they've casted the Sexyy Red net even wider.
Mm-hmm.
Now more people that didn't know who Sexyy Red was know who she is. They're hearing her lyrics, they're hearing what she's talking about. So she's placed on this pedestal where she's a black woman, she's an artist, and this is her art. This is what she's doing. Now, to a lot of black women, they're like, damn, wow, you know, it's cool and cute to turn up to it sometimes. We don't want that to be the representation of black female artists.
So, and that's the performance. That's a deeper, darker.
Yeah.
The performance politics that have been happening with black women, where we see one of us on screen and we feel like they're all giving us a bad name. This was a big thing that happened with Cardi B as well. People don't see fucking Kanye's white wife and say that she speaks for all white women. They don't do that with Spanish women. They only do that with black women. Well, black women, we really do it to each other. And to that, I want to say this. People who respect women and respect black women know that we're not all a monolith. They already know that. The people who think that one black woman represents all black women already think the worst of you as it is, so it doesn't matter. There's no need to do performance politics with them, because if you think that Sexyy Red, if you see Sexyy Red and it's like, black woman, she represents all black women, they're all fucking Jezebels, you thought that anyway, and that was just confirming what you already thought. So you can't live your life or create your art around trying to please those people or trying to put on the cleanliness politics or the performance politics to represent all Black women, you'll never get anything done. You really got to not give a fuck what people think. One Black woman does not represent our entire race. Now, what I will say is that she does not make it easier for the pussy rap girls to transition over. That I will say, because I feel like people can look at her no matter who they are and say, this is a pussy rapper or this is what she's rapping about. She takes it so far that it might make it harder for a Lotto or a Megan or a Cardi who do rap about other things to be seen as more than just a pussy rapper because of what she does.
Yeah, because even like Cardi with both her records with Bruno, while she was very much Cardi B on it and did have sexual stuff, she curved it a little bit. She leaned more into the song than she did in like IG Live Cardi. The only way to top that would to do what Sexyy Red did and take it all the way there. Mm-hmm. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Now what's the Lotto verse on a pop record?
Yeah, but that's why, you know, I was surprised that, again, I love that Sexyy is who she is no matter what. She's walking in the room as Sexyy Red. She's leaving as Sexyy Red. I respect that. But I thought that once given this opportunity to get a record with somebody like a Bruno Mars, I thought she would taper it off just a little bit. Like, let me kind of, because now, again, I'm on a different level now. I'm getting played in, you know, potentially, you know, she already is getting played in arenas and stadiums and things like that. But I think that with Bruno, I thought that she would kind of, let me clean it up a little bit. Because I maybe told you 2 years ago, that I'm waiting for the Sexyy Red rebrand. Like, once she completely changes her image, like, not so, you know, ratchet, like I could see the aesthetic. Like, when she decides to clean her image up and go a different way, I think she's going to be a bigger artist than she is now.